Thinking rhythmically makes practical sense in church work as it does in all of life. Some of our insane busyness comes from trying to cultivate, plant, fertilize, weed, harvest, and repair the fences in every season. We are not meant to minister that way. Rhythm frees us to focus on one season at a time. Rhythm honors excellence and the sacrifice required for achievements while also providing times for renewal. A rhythm approach is more practical because it explicitly takes into account seasons and stages. For example, at the start of a new church, you may build a large team to set up and take down chairs, sound gear, and children's equipment every week in an elementary school. Once you have a permanent space, that team is no longer needed, or at least not such a big team. If you are between pastors, then it is time for a pastoral search, but once you have a pastor in place, there is no ongoing need for a search committee. Such overly obvious examples help us see that it makes sense to acknowledge that different stages and seasons of church life should lead us to focus on different issues. For instance, is this the time in your church to reorganize your leadership structure? If you have just grown dramatically, then perhaps yes. But would you reorganize just because you attended a great seminar on a cool way to organize your leadership team? Or in another example, is this the time for a citywide evangelism push? In one sense, it is always time for evangelism. But at this time in your church, do you need to focus more on internal health or external growth? While you are giving energy to rebuilding your small groups, should you also engage in a citywide major evangelism effort? Thinking rhythmically helps us ask these kinds of timing questions. Is this the right time to focus on this ministry, or do we need to concentrate on something else? We are unnecessarily burning out our people and our pastors in the damaging pursuit of totally balanced churches. Members in a congregation get weary when they hear too many fervent messages urging that they come, serve, give, study, and attend one event, program, and meeting after another. Are they all equally important right now? Our constant and excessive expectations reduce our missional effectiveness, rob our people of joy, and rob us of joy as leaders. Unnecessary guilt is created by attempting the impossible ideal of providing proportionate effort to every dimension at all time. The same notion applies to major ministries such as children, students, small groups, global missions, and worship. All should be strong and appropriately balanced, but to grow toward that ideal in the rhythms of a church's life, we must give extra focus at times to a certain ministry and not give that energy to others. Of course, we already do this, but we beat ourselves up for it. A rhythmic model gives permission for unbalanced focus in seasons, and in fact advocates it. If you free yourself from the false expectations inherent in trying to achieve the perfectly balanced church, and all the unnecessary burdens it places on you, that step alone will decrease your stress and relieve some of your frustration. At the very least, it will reduce your false guilt and increase your peace. Then you'll be ready to adopt rhythm as a better alternative. What time is it? We have lots of activity and wonder why we have so little productivity for Christ. Being busy is obviously not the same thing as being fruitful. When you are trying to decide where to put your energy, you appropriately consider your mission. Why are you doing what you are doing? Your culture. How do things work in your region? Your community. How are you making a difference for Christ? Your uniqueness. What uniquely makes sense for your church? Your organization. How could you simplify for effectiveness? Your theology. Are you biblical? Your communication. Are you being clear and consistent? Your church in rhythm calls you to consider another dimension. What time is it in your church? In what stage are you in your life cycle as an organization? In what ministry seasons do you find yourself?